The position we stand in the marketplace is that the dialogue around data, better informed targeting on the front end, and significantly greater granularity in the understanding of performance on the back end is part of every discussion. I think you'll see a lot of the networks are making announcements pre-upfront going in to set the stage for what that conversation will be like. But the word programmatic, data-driven is permeating, I think, across the board, every cable, every broadcast network. So where we sit in the ecosystem is certainly to help support that and start to connect buyers and sellers in the linear space where there just hasn't been that kind of technology layer in between. It's certainly impacted display and mobile and video really across every screen, and it's now the television industry that is starting to evolve into the programmatic space. So data-driven and certainly leveraging automation.
I want to look at how does somebody behave. And in my case, working for movie studios, is somebody a frequent moviegoer? Is somebody a movie downloader? In the case of a comedy, are they interested in comedy? And many, many other behaviors. What do they shop for? What do they look at? What do they like? That would be an example of behavioral targeting. And then we had a very good example of a film we worked on that had Jennifer Lopez was in it. And one of the most successful strategies we did was, instead of thinking about I'm going to buy, it's a Jennifer Lopez movie, so I'm going to buy ads on Entertainment Weekly, or I'm going to buy ads on Us Magazine. There was a page on the Time Magazine website that was about Jennifer Lopez movies. So there's a good example of, I might not think of buying Jennifer Lopez movie advertising on Time's website, but if there's a page that's very relevant to that experience, then I want to buy that context. So kind of the three main ways you should prospect a user is, first I'm going to go where I think they are, whitelist. Then I'm going to go on the basis of how they behave, and then I'm going to go to pages that are relevant to that particular subject. So principle of this chart really is media meets data, and then at the bottom there it lands on a campaign. So now the ads start landing on devices. So you've got ads landing on televisions, you have ads landing on computers, on mobile phones, on tablets.
Yeah, so traditionally, everything that you just said is packed into a spot, right? Your spot reaches a wide audience, and all of those different nuances and kind of niche audiences live within one unit because you reach at such scale. So, there has been a lot of dollars have been flowing into digital video, whether it be on desktop or mobile, just because of these kinds of benefits, because of the kind of granularity and specificity and precision that you can target. So that's, I think, the sea change that's happening now with the evolution and the emergence of technology and the application of data to television. For network, broadcast, and cable, you're still delivering one-to-many, but it's that deeper understanding of within that many and the million or a couple 100,000 population, all of these different aspects and attributes that kind of live within there. How do you make better decisions about which piece of creative that you may have spent $1 million in making? It's still a story, as you said, leading up here. But it's putting the story in the right context at the right time on the right network. And there is massive efficiency to be extracted out of the $70 billion that's spent every year, because it can have a material impact on the decisions that are being made and the scale of dollars being spent. A decision to move 1% or 2% from one network or one day part from another, you're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars.
Right.
How are you approaching content creators, commercial content creators? Are you using sites like Tongle? I don't know if you're familiar with it, crowdsourcing advertising sites, because you have to create so much more content. It's certainly changed how video production companies operate, like ourselves, or small boutique. How do you engage them, and how's that?
I can. That's probably a great question for you, actually. But creative has to respond like everything else to what the users do, and I think we sell against this idea a lot in film of, I'm going to go and I'm going to take this film and I'm going to make a trailer totally in isolation of anything with a creative agency, and then I'm going to make this poster totally in isolation of everything with this different creative agency, and then I'm going to, months later, do a media execution, and I'm going to have a media agency go and write up a media schedule that says, okay, we're going to reach this audience, you got to buy this TV spots and buy those billboards, and then do this, linear TV and do this programmatic, and then we're going to jam this creative execution into this media execution, and not have it be alive. I think at the end of the day, the campaign has to be alive. You've got to respond to, the creative has to respond to what's happening. So yeah, I mean, I think that there's extraordinarily bigger need for more and more creative, and for creative that fits together like a jigsaw puzzle, where parts of the creative can swap out and change, and the story can branch based on how people interact with it. So yeah, I mean, there's a wonderful opportunity for people who make video. I think, and it's also a great opportunity for agencies like ours and Saatchi's, who have a media operation and a creative operation in the same company. Because I think that it's going to be a big challenge for companies that treat those two things separately going forward.